Hello class, today we're going to be talking about the first black African American clown named Reginald Alexander Montgomery. He was the first clown in the Ringling Brothers Circus and Barnum and Bailey Circus. He was an American clown actor and director. But to start his story off, Reginald was born in Tallahassee in 1947 in Florida, and Reginald had two siblings. In high school, he studied acting and touch football. But his parents always wanted him and nudged him to always be an English teacher. He also studied drama in 1968 while he was in high school, and he always was trying to find a way to survive in the world and in the theater world, because in Tallahassee in the 50s, people were still, well, not even people, black people were still getting lynched back then. So imagine how he had to move in the world. Like, let's understand that. Imagine how he had to move in the world in the 50s in Tallahassee, Florida. People were still being lynched. Black people were being killed. Yeah. So let's think about that internally, though. So Montgomery had experienced many different struggles, right? And he also had a speech impediment, so he had to get that fixed with surgery. So he went to the first black theater, because white people and black people, like, that was not happening back then, because black people and white people were segregated. So yeah, so he stayed there for 8 years. Like, wow, that's crazy. So he graduated in 1968 and he went to the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Clown College. Now, a man named Mel Miller, dean of the school, found him, saw him performing, and said, "Hey, you should apply." Now, there was about like 1,000 applicants that needed to be gone through, and he was one of the 30 to be picked. So Montgomery studied under Otto and McKelly, learning acrobatic experiences, tumbles, flops, rolls, and physical comedy. Sorry, I'm trying to be funny. Anyways, so he was the only black man in his classes. So imagine like the experience back then, he was the only black man in his classes, and he did not want to put on whiteface. Now, the only reason why he said whiteface is because, like I said, 1936, 1950s, there's still lynching going on. Imagine his mindset. He's like, he doesn't want to get lynched, essentially. He doesn't want to get lynched. He doesn't want to do nothing that's going to step on anybody's toes. He doesn't want to offend anybody. He's trying to stay out the way. So he said, I don't want to put on whiteface. But in actual reality, whiteface does not exist because there is no type of like history like blackface has, and the same systematic oppression like blackface. But I don't blame him for saying whiteface and he's scared. Like I said, like, imagine that mindset back then. I don't blame him. So he was looking out for his safety. However, 10 years prior, he wasn't even caring about the circus like that. He was like, he never gave a fuck about that shit. But times change. Things change. So he decided to give it a try. But his parents still wanted him to become an English teacher. I don't know why English teacher, to be honest. But, like, maybe that's just what they wanted for the son. They saw being an English teacher as proficient. So maybe they were just like, hey, like, can you be an English teacher? That's respectable. Who knows? So he did become a substitute teacher in Florida while still attending clown college to earn bread and butter. So he did end up graduating with a master's degree in San Antonio, Texas, in fine arts at Trinity University. He lived a very successful life. He ended up working with George Wolfe's The Colored Museum, the play. He played several characters in his life. He also became a director and an acting coach. Montgomery was in film and TV roles you have probably even heard of: Law and Order, Matlock, Malcolm X. He did many more things with Wolfie. He was doing all of this type of stuff when he first moved to New York. So, wow, the Big Apple, the big city, he's really moving. He's really making his cheddar. He's really doing his thing, right? But, he died in his New York City apartment due to natural causes on January 13th, 2002. Now, if you're interested in content like this, next video will be about the first black female clown. If you want to follow my social medias, that will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.